We are sheltering at home right now to keep our country safe, but with that may come some anxiety. So joining me now is Doctor Marian Eberly to give us some tips on how to cope with all of this uncertainty. Welcome, doctor. Thank you for joining us. Is feeling anxious right now normal?
Yeah, we're creatures of habit, and when our routines are changed up, that causes all of us to be anxious, and we get a little nervous, especially when there are fears involved, right? You can see that with the toilet paper scrounging up and everybody looking for that. And what that's all about really is just, it's like insecurity. You know, it's when people don't have enough of what they need, they get insecure, they get fearful. You can see them hoarding and behaving in very anxious ways.
How do we know when it's gone past normal?
When our sleep is being disturbed, that's a real sign. When you are finding that you cannot rest well, you're waking up several times during the night, if your appetite is changing, if you're eating too much, you're not eating enough, and your mood, you don't feel like you want to go outside, you don't feel like you want to do anything, you can't focus, you can't concentrate. All of those things are really signs of stress. Noticing if your mood is becoming very sad and your thoughts are going toward the negative all the time, that can be a sign that things are not going well for you and you do need some extra help to get through this.
So, doctor, how do we talk to our kids then about staying inside, not seeing their friends, and any fears they may be having?
I think we can definitely tell our kids that this is temporary. It's elongated, but it's still temporary. Things are going to get better, but we do have to adapt to change. And how can we do that? Well, first of all, we talk about our feelings with them, right? We let them know that their feelings do matter. What's important to them is important to us. We let them know that there are many things that we can do during this time to build resilience. Now, kids may not know that big 25-cent word, but resilience are things like humor, faith, creativity, these balance. Okay, so this can actually be a time where we reach deep and actually begin to see those resiliencies and build strengths.
Doctor, any helpful tips on ways that we can help our kids cope during this time?
Getting outside, activity is very important. Eating right, and routine. Establishing routine. I've noticed that a lot of kids, particularly teenagers, are sleeping in. They're really lethargic the rest of the day, or they get on video games and that's kind of it for their day. Maybe they do some schooling. That structure is really important. Getting to bed at a certain time, getting up at a certain time. Get yourself on a schedule, and that will definitely help you mentally.
Doctor, how important is physical activity and meditation right now?
Activity is essential because what it does for the brain is keep the brain obviously working the way we want it to work. Okay, so getting outside and getting fresh air and getting sunshine is very, very important. First of all, sunshine provides vitamin D, and vitamin D helps with depression. It's very important to not develop a sedentary lifestyle while this COVID-19 process is going on.
Doctor, any thoughts and tips on how we can endure these uncertain times ahead of us?
I feel that this is a time to really dig deep and recognize that there is a great amount of good that can come from seasons like this in our lives. And we really need to look at that. We need to recognize the strengths within, the resiliencies that we carry within us, and dig deep to expose those, such as sense of humor. There's faith. Faith is very important to many, many people, especially at times like this, and people find themselves digging deeper. I think we have to be careful to recognize that we do not allow fear to be the loudest voice we hear. It's very, very important to keep fear in perspective. What can you do now? It's not what I can't do, it's about what I can do. Be sure that I am balancing my life and doing everything I can to be nurtured, and that means to be sleeping well, to be fed well, and to get plenty of activity, and to get that social connection that we need, even though it be virtual.
Doctor, thanks so much for all your great advice and your tips.
Erica, thank you so much for this opportunity to share with you and your viewers today. It's been a pleasure.